Listen up, people. Manscaped have done it again. This time, it's the Chairman Pro, giving you a clean, close shave. The Chairman Pro is waterproof. The Chairman Pro has long-lasting battery life. And you use the code FTM20 and you will get 20% off of this product.
Yes, people, big up, big up, big up. Welcome back to 12th Man. Welcome back to Race for Europe. We've got a great panel for you tonight. We've got a couple of the boys that are late. Do not worry, they are joining us, but they are running a little bit late. Big up to Charlie, big up to Errol, and big up to Nuruddin making his debut on the channel, man. Absolute legend, bro. I really appreciate you jumping on, man. Thank you so much.
Bro, I got about half an hour, bro. I've been live streaming for 2 and a bit hours, so I got 35 minutes, bro.
Love, man. I appreciate that, bro. I know it's lastminute.com, but I do appreciate you coming on, man. I really do. Listen, man, we've got to talk about things at the top and things in the middle as well at the moment. Before we do that and get into it, please check out manscaped.com, people. They've got 20% off at the moment using the code FTM20, FTM20. You'll get 20% off for Christmas. So please make sure you do that. There's a link in the pinned comment, or you go into the description and it will be there as well. We've also got a prize to give out later and a new sponsor of the channel, Reality Raffles. We're going to talk about that a little bit more later for you to win a match day experience of your choice. So big up to every single one of you for getting involved with that. Link is in the description. Also, big up to Rich for just jumping on, my bro. We're going to talk Villa as well. Let's talk about Arsenal, Chelsea and Liverpool's situation. Errol, you managed to have a good weekend without even kicking a football, my bro. That is probably the best weekend you could have really hoped for, really. Other than Chelsea, who obviously did what Spurs do best and become Spursy. Manchester City and Arsenal potentially put them out of the title race without you kicking a ball, my friend. Talk to me, bro. Talk to me.
Do you know what? I'm probably one of the few that wasn't mad that Chelsea actually went on to win, to be honest with you. I've said to Charlie in the past that for me this Chelsea team have probably been one of the most likable group of players that I've watched for a very long time. As I say, Liverpool and Chelsea have had close rivalries. Chelsea have at times been able to throw the weight around in terms of being able to go and win Premier Leagues ahead of Liverpool and buy bigger and better players at certain times. So you've had to respect them in the contemporary game, but ultimately I've always felt Liverpool have been equal to them and had their moments as well. But I've never liked them. They've never had players that have endeared me. They've never had players that I thought, they've had players you think I'd love them if they played for us, but I absolutely can't stand them for the fact that they played that for Chelsea. I like this lads. I like the lads that they've got at the moment. I like the way that they're playing football. I like what Maresca's doing with them. I think they're a little bit Liverpool 13-14 in terms of they're going to be able to blow teams away and score goals for fun, but defensively in the back, they haven't. They've got their own version of Simon Mignolet in goal at the moment, and Sanchez. They've got a bit of a dodgy back line as well. They haven't really settled that department. So I like what Chelsea are doing because they've put the cat amongst the pigeons. There was a thought process that there would be an established order in terms of the top three by and large this season. Whether or not you expected Liverpool to challenge and lead the table at this stage is another thing, but you'd have expected City, Arsenal and Liverpool to be in that mix. The fact that Chelsea have literally just put a hand grenade in there and said, hang on a minute, we're going to turn up to the party, I think that's going to panic some of the teams in that top four race, in that title race.
Where should we be looking right now, Errol, for you? Who should be looking at? Or I know you might not think of it like that. Let's just concentrate on us. But if I had to ask you the question of who are you most worried about, where would you look?
Themselves, man.
Well, yeah, outside of us, I think, if we don't do it this season, we beat ourselves. The start we've had, the games that we've got to play and all the rest of it. Or if I had to look at another team right now, for me, it's probably still that City side. And I know that might just come across as PTSD as a Liverpool fan, knowing what they've been capable of doing. I'm yet to see this Chelsea side, even though they've put on some good games and they've had some good performances, they're yet to do the 12, 13, 14 game unbeaten run situation, which we spoke about.
We ain't competition.
No, and I appreciate that, LB, and I get that. But we spoke about that a lot last season. my not necessarily disrespect towards Arsenal, but until Arsenal were capable of showing for my own metric that they was able to do 10, 11, 12 games where they'd go on an unbeaten run and you'd get more wins than draws, I couldn't really ever consider them serious title contenders, because I know when it comes to crunch time, City have got that in the locker, and I know when it comes to crunch time, Liverpool have shown that they also have that in their locker. Arsenal over the last 2 years have edged toward that space. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it again this year, but they have in recent years, the last 2 seasons, they put in some very good performances and good run of games and wins, more importantly. I think it's still City, though, because if City do get their house in order by the end of January, City are still very capable of going on a scary run. That just puts in terms of pure numbers on the board, it just gets them back in the conversation.
Listen, what I think you're missing is that we ain't winning every game now until January.
Well, that's the important thing. That's the other thing.
The 11 points. But if you win your game in hand, it's 11 points. I don't think we're beating Villa, United, Leicester, and Everton. I don't think we win all 4 of those games, unfortunately. Yeah, and that's where I think we're going to have problems. You know, if the news is true that we are getting Bruno G, which are a few rumours that are flying around, and we was in 6 points behind, 7 points, I'd be getting on it, man. But I'm gonna be real with you, man. I think this league's toast already.
It might be LB. We might be looking back in 2 months' time and think, oh yeah, it was done in December, it was done in Christmas, we just didn't know it yet. But if you had to ask me which team are going to wake up and snap back into life at some point, I've got a reason to go against all of them based on this season's form. But in terms of looking at what the teams have done, you can't dismiss what City have done over the last 3 or 4 years. If they need to and they feel they can get themselves in that groove, and more importantly, if Liverpool leave the door open, I think that's the bigger thing. If Liverpool leave that door open,
Arsenal and City this weekend, I think done. I think that's what I think. Like you said, toast, LB. Are you saying for Man City, or are you saying toast as in Liverpool won it?
I think the league's toast, man. I think Liverpool have won it. I'll be amazed if they don't win it. The only way I don't see them winning it is if Salah gets injured. That's it, man. I'll be real with you. He's just unreal, man. He's actually playing his way to the Ballon d'Or right now, and I just don't see it. We ain't got enough. Arsenal ain't got enough, and I just think Chelsea are just 1 year too soon. I think they need a little bit more in defence, a new goalkeeper, and I think they'll be ready to go. I just don't think they've got quite what it takes. If Liverpool keep Van Dijk fit and they keep Salah fit, they are winning this league. And you know what? I think they'll win the league by 10 points, the way it's going.
Nuruddin, what are you saying, man? You're shaking your head, bro. Talk to me.
You know what? I've seen big. How many points are they clear now? Liverpool.
Of who? Of who?
City.
11 if we've got a game in hand. So it's 8 as it stands.
How many of Arsenal?
6.
And 7 of Chelsea.
And then listen,
4 at the moment. 4.
No, it's
4. Yeah, sorry, yeah. Sorry, Charlie.
With the
game in hand, obviously.
The game in hand, game in hand.
Yeah, you got a game in hand, right? And Everton, we were just toothless. I've seen 12-point leads disappear like that. I've seen it. I've watched it. I've been part of it. I've been in the stadiums, whether it was United who were giving away 12 points to Arsenal, or us climbing 12 points to beat Newcastle to the league, or beating Arsenal to 12 points as well. So I've been there, and I've seen it, and I've seen the pressure that can happen when you have got a chasing pack or a team that's chasing you. The level of pressure, what it takes, a red card here, a bad call, offside call here. You know what I mean? A mistake by a goalkeeper there, and then boom, you lose one. You lose when you draw 2. And the other team win. The other teams win a couple of games. Then it's back on. So for me, I think it's too early. There's still 70 odd points, if I'm not mistaken, or just under 70 points to be played for yet. That's a lot of points. That is a lot of points. And obviously, then you take what LB said. You take the injuries into consideration as well. If, let's say, Mo Salah goes, you know what I mean, Van Dijk gets injured or somebody else gets injured, even with Arsenal or whatever. I personally, history will not judge Arsenal on an Arsenal board. Well, history will not, because the way they came so close last season and the season before, and how they have not strengthened, not understanding that in modern football, you can't win a league with 14 players. You cannot win a league with the days of winning Leagues with 14, 15 players are done. You need a squad because you're in so many competitions and so many games to play in modern football. Plus, we just come off the Euros, was it? We just came off the Euros, so players are always on that kind of burnout. So you have to change the squad and tune it out, because or else players are going to get injured. That's why with our new manager, majority of fans are pissed off. But I'm glad what he's doing, because we tried to play a team 11 last season. Look what happened. We had so many injuries. So at the end of the day, you have to play and you have to have a squad. So for me, I don't put it on Arteta. I put it on the board. I put it on the ownership. That's where the lack of ambition they've shown, because Arsenal should have had another striker. They should have had somebody else to play in the position where Odegaard plays, and somebody who can get goals like Saka. That, to me, those three would have been, and maybe one more centre. They should have made 4 key signings to go for a league. And for me,
I don't necessarily agree with that, though. I was going to say, because Arteta's got to be held accountable somewhere down the line for me, because you can't have...
He hasn't got the checkbook. He doesn't have the checkbook, does he?
It's not about necessarily having a checkbook, though, because Slot didn't have a checkbook. Slot was bait.
Liverpool, we already understood Liverpool, the cycle. We know, obviously, if you want to believe the conspiracy, the inhalers, yeah. The cycle of Liverpool has always been, and this is fat people, yeah. Go and check it out. Bro. If you don't believe me, go and check it out.
I believe, bro.
For a couple of seasons, they're up here, right? Literally, right? They were challenging for 4 trophies. I think you were the first. I think 3 of them you lost, or 2. I think 3 or 4 trophies you lost or won on the last day. You took it to the last day, right? So then
we took it to the last day in every competition that year.
And 3 finals, yeah.
And we lost 2 of the big ones.
Yeah. You lost 2, you won 2. So for me, that there's going to be a drop. I said it nowhere of a lie. I've got like half my family are Liverpool fans, yeah. They're actually from Liverpool, like they're Liverpool fans, right? My uncles. And I said to them, the drop will be because when you give everything to that sense, the way that club, the Jurgen Klopp has. I personally think Liverpool, I said, would challenge for a league because you've got league winners. You've got guys who play at a level of intensity. The cleverness of Arne Slot, that he didn't try to change it. He just here and there. And I noticed it from game 1, the positioning of Robertson, not as going as gun-ho. You know what I mean? Almost you got 3 rest defense. Every time you lose the ball, there's always 3 at the back there. And you see how he's trying to get, and obviously the magic that he's done with Gravenberg and McAllister, and all of that's falling apart. I just genuinely 100% think, and I'm not just being a bitter Manchester United man, I'm just saying Liverpool will come a time in a period where there's a difficult period where they might not win 3 or 4 games. That is coming, because to carry on at this level, it'll be miraculous. It'll be incredibly miraculous. Yes, the players have it in them. You have got experienced players. But to me, I truly do know, because I know about something about ownership, because trust me, we know about ownerships. The Cronkies have not done enough to get Arsenal challenging for a league. And this was I knew Man City was snack off, because trust me, doing a 4 in a row, there has to become a burnout. And selling that kid to Atletico Madrid was a mistake. When the way they want to play, he understood. I thought Gundogan coming back would have done a job for them, but actually he's aged quickly. You know, with certain footballers, yeah, they're playing well, they're getting to that age where and then boom, the crash happens. Gundogan now looks the absolute, like, he doesn't look like the player that was absolutely doing all sorts of madness, scoring so many winners, so many crucial games the season before they sold him to Barcelona. So for me, I expected a slump from Chelsea, from City, the burnout. Chelsea, the defense, I don't trust that defense, the goalkeeper. I think you're doing what you're doing, and it's great to see that. What a coach and a system, and having to have 2 teams, one where you can play one in a conference and one in the league, and him literally working and coaching the team week on and week out to play in the league is really well. And that's what I want my manager to do, to get the fuck out of the Europa League and all these cups and install his idea and philosophy into these players, because it's the league. It's the league. How tough it is to try to play in 2 competitions when you haven't got.
You want to go out the cups, Nuruddin? You want to go out the cups, Nuruddin?
100%. Listen, the most crucial time. Listen, and then where we are at Manchester United, yeah, we are in a position where we've got a guy who has got a way of playing. He needs to find out who's going to sink and who's going to swim, right, till the end of the season. The best way to do that, the best way to test that is him working, creating a competitive training ground culture in our training ground where they've got 8 sides other than worrying about flying to flying to here and there in the Europa League. Just focusing on the training and him getting his ideas across. The next season we'll be able to judge and go, you know what?
So you writ off the season. This is a free hit season.
Nah, for me, it's because that's what they did when they made a decision. We could have
No
been in
way.
a different way. 100%.
Brother.
But listen, we're in crisis, bro. We go from one crisis to another crisis. We are in crisis. We have a culture problem. And to get rid of that culture, you need to be able to have the time on the training ground. You need to be able to do that to get your things across, to get the game model across. And the only way you can do that, the best judgment of that is week in, week out league. You look at it in 2017, Chelsea finished what? I don't know where you finished. You finished maybe in the top half.
We come 10th one year, and then the next year we won the league. Yeah,
you won the league because no European involvement. He was managed to coach, and obviously there's a lot more games now in the league, even the way the league fixtures is set up. But he managed to do that. Amorim needs a time. A coach needs a time. And we got a coach.
Nurudeen, do you know what? Just quick. I said the same as you, bro. We got Arteta in. I said, get me out. I don't want that Europa League. Just playing one game a week. That's all I want to do. Get things sorted, start again. And do you know what the problem was? When you lose a game, you have to wait a whole week to then try and win again.
Yeah,
and
then terrible.
A whole week
to then
It is awful, man. Trust me. I from an Arsenal fan who wanted exactly what you've just said, get me out the cups. I don't care about it. I want 3 o'clock kickoffs on Saturdays. And I was like, do you know what? I wish I was playing Tuesday night to try and win because I'm down for the rest of the week now. And then you lose again.
But Dan, I'm not going to lie to you. We've got a massive cultural problem in our football club. The problems we've got at our club are huge compared to what Arsenal were. I don't mind playing weekly because then I can see what the coach has worked on. We can literally in real time judge, there's improvement here. There's improvement there. Of course, we're going to lose games in that when it's experimenting and exploring. But we need a training ground culture, that competitive edge to come back. At this moment in time, we don't have that. Our players are not coached. They're not coached. You see that. The only football we've known since Jose Van Hag. What are we known for? Sit back and hit teams on the counter. That's not our style of play. That's just a tactic in the game. We turned a tactic in a game that most teams in world football use into a style of play.
I know we're going off the topic, but it's a nice segue. Just quickly, no, I know you don't have long today. What the hell was this Dan Ashworth stuff about, man? Like, what is happening there? Is this Southgate rumor true? No, because that's what I'm hearing.
No, it's not true. No, it's not true.
PR, is it, Lil B?
Of course it's PR.
Listen, it's not true. Basically, our structure, they use the words like the best in class. I'm like, that's a class as BS anyway. Like, I believe that this is class. I just want competent people at my football club. So they've literally hired Barada of City. He was a CFO, if I'm not mistaken. He was the financial guy at City running stuff. This is his first role as the CEO, right? So he was a CFO at Man City. Now he's the CEO of Manchester United. They're imposing, this is Ineos, imposing a director of football on the CEO. Now, the box stops with the CEO. The person who runs your day-to-day management of the football club is the CEO. Everybody he's got there should be the people that he wants at this football club. From the sporting director, technical director, from the coach. That should be his guy. They imposed Dan Ashworth. Omar Barada and Dan Ashworth were never going to get on. They don't see football the same way. At the end of the day, Dan Ashworth spent more time on gardening leave than he has been in with the job where we paid £3 million to get him out of Newcastle. And yet now, for the fans, Ineos have put up the ticket prices to £66 for the disabled, for children, and for the elderly across all the board. And the money that they're going to make, guess how much? £1 million. £1 million this season.
Mad, isn't it?
He's
all clubs are doing it, though.
Yeah, shocking. Villa are doing it.
Yeah,
All of them are
he's
doing it.
cancelled the Christmas. He's cancelled the Christmas party, right? For the staff.
Hasn't he
So
made
he's
a
doing
load of
mad
staff
one. He's
redundant
doing a
as
mad
well?
one. But you know what, Dan? I called it out. I was calling it out while he was bidding for the club. I was calling it out and I was telling everybody and their nan, but I'm the negative guy. So all of this is just that a club in crisis, and now we've got a fractured structure, and we've got a new coach. I mean, what he's thinking right now, what's Amarin thinking? Because the person who employed Dan Ashworth is Dodgy Dave. I don't know if you heard of Dodgy Dave, Mr. Inhaler. He should have been a Liverpool, to be fair. He likes the inhaler so much. But if you need to read about it, you need to look up the cycling, the British cycling, why they won so many medals, and his inhaler tactics that he did with the Tour de France. Dodgy Dave, that's how he's known. He's Dodgy Dave in the business. He's a cycling guy. He thinks he knows about football. He hires, they get Omar Barada and Dan Ashworth. That was never going to work.
Mate,
Now, apparently, Dan, we're blaming for everything. Oh, my cat's going missing. It's Dan Ashworth. Oh, the cat
what faith do you have that Amarin is going to be successful in his current position?
The players ain't good enough. Let's just say how it is.
Listen, the song that plays in my head, we hope, we pray. We hope, we pray. I've been like that for 13 years. I don't have, but all I know is now with his sacking, and did you know that they literally escorted him out of Dan Ashworth was in the stands in the director's box of the game, yeah? I sat right opposite the director's box. At the end of the game, he was called down, sacked, and then security escorted him out of the back of the stadium.
But it was mutual consent, though. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
It's so funny listening to the way.
So to answer the question, a madhouse. I just hope and I pray in terms of something tangible. I believe in the man believes in his methods, and he's the kind of guy who will die by his methods. But at this moment in time, for this sacking, there is created a fracture within the structure because Dodgy Dave's still there, and Dodgy Dave is Jim the Rat's right-hand man.
Well, this is it. Is Amarim now like thinking, what have I walked into? Because surely he couldn't have expected this.
100%. 100%. And now, no word of a lie, the briefing that we're getting from the club, all of it is briefing, by the way. Every journalist being briefed. Dan Ashworth, he wanted Southgate. He wanted Harry Potter. He wanted this guy. He wanted that guy. He wasn't good enough in terms of the data. He couldn't provide and he went on holiday. I'm like, of course, everybody goes on holiday during the international break. They sent the players a couple of days off. Everybody who's involved in the direct football, first team around the first team go on holiday. All the coaches go on holiday. What do you think? They go, Dan Ashworth went on holiday, went Amarin second day. Like, what are we talking about? It's a joke. Majority of the fan base, I told them, you will see. And everybody told me I was negative. Not that I have a thing. All I did was look across to what Ineos did at Nice. The sample size is there. The data's there. They sack managers. They sacked out. They turned one of the coaches into becoming a director of football. They sacked him and they hired him again as a director of football. So this is where we're at.
He hasn't got a chance, has he? He hasn't got a chance. He hasn't got a chance.
Yeah, exactly. But I just hope and pray he can at least get us playing in a way. Listen, when they sing "We've Seen It All," that's about me. I've seen my football club win everything. I've celebrated every fucking big trophy. And I'm not in no rush to win about challenging. I don't want to do it on a shortcut. What I want is hopefully have owners who understand the culture of Manchester United and hopefully come from somewhere and take over this football club and then begin the process of us coming back. So for me, when I go to games, I just want to see good football. I don't care win, lose or draw. I just want to be able to go sit at the seat and go, you know what? We played well today. Oh, you know what? I've seen some goals. Or I know, you know what? The team's a bit more cohesive. That's what I want. Because we are, what we like it or not,
good enough,
we are mid-table mediocre. We are mid-table mediocre. That's what we are.
Man, Onana at the weekend. Martinez trying to win headers as a midget. It ain't good, man. It ain't looking good. That midfield as well. I don't know, man.
Got turned into a ham sandwich, lad.
Look, I like Amorim. I think he's a good manager. I do genuinely think he's a good coach. But it's going to take time, man. That's going to take time, that job, in my opinion. So, look, Man United spend, and if they get the structure right and the scouting right, of course they can be back. They're a massive club. They're huge, yeah? But it's going to take a couple of seasons at least, in my opinion, before United are where they want to be.
They're where we were 2 years ago when we got took over. You know, they've sacked a few managers, new ownerships come in. The director of football in Ravel was there 5 minutes, then he's gone. Same with Ashworth. The load of players aren't good enough. A load of players don't want to be there. They're about 2.5 years behind where we were in our cycle. There's a lot of similarities between United now when Chelsea first got took over by Bowley and that.
Yeah, I agree. And look, United fans got to have a little bit of short-term pain and hope that it's going to be long-term gain, man. That's what's going to have to happen. But
I've had it for 13 years. What's a couple of more? What's one thing? Oh, yeah.
A bit more patience, bro.
What's another 7 years? Eh? What 20? What was around after 20 years? Eh?
I've been waiting 21 for a league, bro. I've been waiting 21 for a league.
The thing that hurts me is that Liverpool are going to win the league, and I can't sing 20 times Manchester United anymore. It's my favourite song in that stadium. It's the one that I always start to get everybody to singing. It's 20 times.
Maybe it ain't over yet, man. Maybe it ain't over yet. Let's move to City.
Well, your boys have got to do the job, Dan, because City have let them.
Listen,
remember,
shit,
City. Remember, under our watch, they won zilch. Under your watch, they could be winning 2 LB. So you got to hold that.
Bro, I'm here on my own, bro. I'm my own here. You had Chelsea, you had Arsenal back in the day. You had teams helping you out, man. I'm here fighting it on the front lines, bro. Do you know what I mean?
What is happening with City, man? Come on. You're Pep losing his head. Pep's rattled. I don't understand. What was he talking about in his interview, by the way, this guy? Why can't he just come out and talk normally?
I don't know, man. People shouldn't be rattled anymore. Like, for me, the league was over a couple of weeks ago. It's definitely over now. So, like, I'm pretty calm. I can't lie, man. I've gone through the anger phase. I'm like,
you're in acceptance now, aren't you?
Yeah.
I accepted.
You're a shithouse. You're a shithouse.
You're sitting there. You're sitting there trying to pretend like the league's not over. Like everyone knows it's
because it's not. None of these just said the 70 points still to play for. Like, what are you waving the white flag for?
City are out of the race. Arsenal are crap, and Chelsea are not ready yet. They're ready next year, so that's why it's over.
Plus, but you also said Liverpool haven't done enough to win a league.
Yeah, but I also didn't realise that Mohamed Salah was about to enter freak mode. Yeah, and do what he's doing. He's literally going to win the Ballon d'Or if he carries like this. That's how good he is. And Van Dijk is turning back into prime Van Dijk as well. So that's the truth, man.
No, but you didn't think City would crumble like this as well, man. You got to say that as well.
Yeah, of course I didn't think it was going to crumble like this.
There you go.
Do you know what I mean?
We were expecting a drop-off, though, LB, this year, after 4. Were you expecting a little drop-off?
The thing is, our season is heavily relied on the fact that Rodri's gone. Because like we was Rodri's team. And I said this in the summer. I said Rodri was the single most important player to any team in Europe. And it's proved to be right, man. Do you know what I mean? And unfortunately, my club gambled our season on Rodri not getting injured. And it's unfortunate that he's got literally the worst injury that he can possibly get in football. But that's what they did. They gambled it. We got the worst injury. We're now screwed. So listen, for me, City-wise, Premier League, I think we'll get top 4, top 5, because apparently 5th place is Champions League. I think we'll get top 4, top 5, qualify for Champions League, make a few signings in January, go for the FA Cup, go for the Champions League. But for me, yeah, I just think that the Premier League is I've got to respect Liverpool. My people like say, oh, City can do this, City can do that. So can Liverpool. Yeah, they hit some mad numbers. We didn't batter them every year in the Premier League. People go on like we won the league by like 10, 15 points every year. No, we didn't. No, we didn't do that at all. So, no, for me, Liverpool have won it. City, get top 4, top 5, invest in January. Go for UCL, go for FA Cup, and we could do something, man.
LB, have you been puzzled by some of Pep's teams though? His starting lineups, his substitutions.
A little bit at times, because against Feyenoord, right? He put Nunes in the middle, right? Gundogan played all right in that game. We actually played all right for like 70 minutes in that game, yeah. Against Forest, he had Jack Grealish in the middle. Gundogan had his best game for City since he's been back when Grealish played in the middle. Why? Because against Feyenoord and against Forest, Gundogan didn't have to run around because he had Nunes doing it in the first game, and then in the second game, Grealish does it, yeah? Now, against Palace, fully accept that Doku and Grealish couldn't play because they were injured or whatever, right? But you change the personnel, you put Nunes in the middle, and you put Bernardo Silva, who, by the way, had his best game against Forest right wing, And then what he's done is he's reverted back to the tactics that have not worked for the last 2 months, which is having Nunes out on the left, Bernardo, Gundogan in the middle. Gundogan was poor again against Palace. Bernardo was poor, or a shock. So, yeah, he has made a few dodgy decisions, but I don't think this squad, with the current injuries and just the
Can I ask you then,
decline, is good
LB?
enough.
Let me ask you this question. It's January the 1st. You're 5 points off Liverpool, and it's been announced that you're making a big signing.
We're not going to be 5 points, bro.
Let me just let me
Let's
ask
do
you.
a thought experiment. Let's do a thought experiment. Say you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm kind of looking at it now to think how far you are off, because you're tapped out of the league, and I get it, right? But I'm trying to look at Man City. I can't really write them off 100%. I kind of
can't, man. You just can't.
But it's so hard not to, man.
Nah,
but
you're
anyway,
not watching us, man. You ain't watching us.
You know why?
Okay.
Listen. You know why I agree with LB quickly. I think the problem is not just the players. I genuinely do think Pep's burnt out. Look what happened at Barcelona. I'm telling you, certain managers, Jurgen Klopp, burnt out mentally. He couldn't do it. I think, I'm not going to lie to you, from the evidence that I've seen in the past couple of months since the beginning of the season, Pep looks burnt out. You saw the scars on his face, man. You saw the scars. Whoever beat him up. He's getting into fights, man. You saw the scars. You saw the busted lip. You saw the scratches on the head. What's happening? Ederson beat him up. To me, that confirmed that the fact that he's been in a punch-up, that confirmed that he's gone. And that's a man trying to bring back the fight within himself. Genuinely trying to bring it back within himself. That is true. LB, you know that he got in a fight. You know that, don't you? Like,
I think something obviously went on. I'm not sure.
what do you
Ederson
mean
beat him
something
up.
went on? He's got a massive cut to his head, a busted lip, and a bunch of scratches on his ball.
Bro, I see. I don't know what happened. When
talking
you
about?
try to tell me Ederson beat him up, man. How you know Ederson can get beat up,
Because
bro?
Ederson was dropped. Who was dropped? Ederson, who saved me some passes.
I don't know what happened. Yeah, I don't know what happened. But the point is, yeah, whether the players are good enough or not, whatever, it's just a holistically bad situation. Yeah, at the moment.
And nothing will save you, basically, is what my question was. Nothing will save you now.
Not for
Nothing
the
in
Premier
January.
League.
Nothing for the Premier League.
LB, let me ask you this question then, right? Say it was Arsenal in Liverpool's position right now. Would you still be waving the white flag?
Yeah, because it's not about you, Errol. It's not about you, bro. It's not about
It's not about you, Errol. It's not about
we
you.
are not good enough. We are not good enough.
It's not you, it's me.
It's me, bro.
Clearly.
Trust me, it's not you. But like the fact it's you makes it worse because I don't think you're gonna have a mad fall off. But it's ourselves. I've got to look at myself and go, is this Manchester City side right now good enough to win this league? And the answer to that is no.
Okay.
And that's the thing. But Champions League, FA Cup, we buy players in January. I'm there for it, man. This is what I'm saying. I'm not throwing a season away. Throwing the league away.
That's what I'm getting at. It's cool you've tapped out for the Premier League, but you know the season ain't done. That's
if we don't buy anyone in January, we ain't winning the Champions League or probably even the FA Cup. But we buy some players. Like if you get me Bruno G in January, right? Who's been linked with us heavily today, yeah? You go get me Bruno G and a new defender, right? Bro, you're telling me that team can't go win the Champions League? Come on, of course it can. You don't have to be the best team to win the Champions League. Were Chelsea the best team when they won it? Were Real Madrid the best team last year when they won it? No. Like we've all won Champions Leagues on this panel, right? Apart from Potsy.
Hey, thanks for that, mate.
Sorry, bro. Sorry. Every time, man. Every time.
Last week.
Sorry, bro.
It's a low blow, you know.
No, man. This channel as well. I'm sorry. You know what? Whenever I say that, I actually don't do it on purpose. I just say it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, shit, Potsy ain't won one. I'm sorry, man. I don't know.
Well,
what
the
I'm
referee
saying
cheated. I'm out of it, man. Referee sent the goalkeeper off, man. That spoiled that final, man. I'll never
Yeah,
forget
man.
that final,
Jens Lehmann. I'd rather that goal gone in and we carry on playing. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Listen,
LB,
before I go,
do you reckon it was a mistake?
big up to everybody.
Go on,
Yeah,
bro.
big up to everybody.
Go on.
Big up Jadon Sancho. Chelsea, you bastards. You jammy bastards. We're your little
25
bitch.
mil.
Innit? We are your little bitch. You sell us a broken flipping player in Mason Mount.
That's your number 7, bro. Respect him.
No, they've been doing that to us for years, bro. Trust me.
It's crazy, man. Honestly, it hurts me, man. And you know what? I celebrated when you became the normal club. When you no longer was Chelsea. Because I remember, but I'm old enough to remember when you sat behind your back of your goal, bro. I'm old enough to remember that, watching your team. honestly, genuinely, they always used to be the bogey team, especially at Old Trafford. Chelsea always used to be United when we were winning titles back to back, bro. Chelsea were the bogey team. But listen, Villa, you can't do 2 games in a week, man. You can't do that. You're going to suffer. Liverpool, fair play to you if you win it, Errol. Fair play to you. If you win it, you win it. And Arne Slot has come in.
What else if we win?
But one day I'm hoping genuinely soon, very soon, we can challenge and we can, you know what I mean, put you back in your place. You know what I mean? One of these days. Now, Liverpool, full stop. We Liverpool.
Bro, Potts knows I've been shouting for the longest time. I need Man U to fix up because I want a title race with Manchester United. I've been saying it for a long time, so I'm ready whenever you are. When you get your shit together, help me.
100% LB, trust me. Look up Pep. Burnout is with him. The reason why he's got that Portuguese kid, who's one of the best ball carriers for Wolves, you bought him and you stick him on the left wing. In what planet? You just exposed all of the indecisions that don't make sense to any City fan, right? And he's doing it week in, week out. He's burnt out. The cycle is over. You should have gone. You should have said his goodbyes after you won the 4th, and you would have bought somebody else. You would have had Amarin now with his best friend, who's going to be your director of football, by the way. But love and light, Dan. Thanks for inviting me. Big up. Next time, I'll be there for the full hour. Love and light, people. Peace.
Love, Nuruddin. Love, bro.
Love. See you in a bit, kid.
Next time, bro. Love, man. Make sure you go follow Nuruddin. Absolute character, legend, for coming on. Let's quickly talk on Arsenal before we do come to Chelsea and Villa. I've got to just be honest with you. I'm kind of tired now of saying the same old shite. So make it as quick as you want. But my God, there's no way we're winning this league the way we're playing.
What phase are you in now, Bray?
Apparently, this is phase 5.
You're Arteta in, yeah?
5. Listen, I'll be Arteta in when everybody else is Arteta out. That's what Lee Gunner says. I'm going to join him because everyone's been telling me to trust the process. So if they're not around for 5, 6, I will be. We are
Dan, I don't get, like, you look at some of the players that, particularly at Fulham, that he sold or your club has sold, the quality that you know, Smith Rowe, 1 or 2 other players, the goalkeeper, like anything. Awobi, yeah, anything. He's replaced them with like Sterling, with all due respect, and Kivior. Like, what is happening? Like, I don't understand. Surely you get rid of players and then improve the squad with better players, but it seems to me that they get rid of really good young players and then replace them with average squad players.
Potts, do you think getting rid of Smith Rowe is a mistake?
Yes.
So no, I don't think it was actually.
I think getting rid of I'll tell you where I'm at actually, because it's a good point. Getting rid of these players was not the issue for me. It was not replacing them properly was. Mm-hmm. We have not replaced some of the players that have gone with properly. We just haven't done that. So we still need players on top of the fact that we haven't replaced some of them that are gone as well. And that's the biggest issue. So people say that Arsenal are a couple of players away. I think we're at least 5 players away still. I still think we're quite a few away, right? And let me tell you why. This guy up top isn't going to win a shit. Let's just be real. Yeah,
that's
this guy up top
is not going to win us.
Yeah, 29. He ain't going to win us nothing. Okay, let's just say it how it is. That's not the only problem, because Saka's going to get burnt out because there's no one to replace him. The guy that we've got, I think he's a cardboard cutout, because I ain't seen him from Chelsea for about 7 weeks now. This Sterling kid, I don't know where he is. Right? We've got no left trust.
No, you're going to see the best of him, Potts. That promo video, the best is
the best of him. Apparently, we're going to see the best of him. Well, the best of him will be on the bench, because I don't see this guy getting anywhere near our team. We've got Martinelli, who I'm about this close to having enough of. We've got Trossard, who's fallen off an absolute cliff. And when Odegaard and Saka don't turn up, we ain't got nothing. And what happens is, when people say, right, this is quite easy to play against Arsenal, let's just lump a load of crosses into the box and see if someone can get their bonds on it so Arsenal can try and be set-piece FC again. Because that is basically what we are and have been for quite some time. Now, I was actually defending the people that were calling us Stoke, saying, come on, man, calm down. We're not Stoke. It ain't that bad. But you know what? We started to go back to set-pieces again, LA. And the fan base is singing that, by the way, at Craven Cottage.
You singing it?
But our fan base, the whole of the fan base, mate. The whole of the fan base. Set piece again, ole, ole. This is 5 years in, £750 million spent. Set piece again, ole, ole.
Oh,
And
they're
then
just
what
having a
happens
bit
is-
of fun,
he's-
Hotsy, man.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man.
Stop
You know what the mad thing
Do
is,
it
though?
when we win.
Do
Do it when
you know
we
what
win,
the
I
mad-
don't mind, right?
you know what the mad thing is, though, Potts? Like, if that type of approach was carried out by Arsene Wenger in his last 5 years before he left, you guys.
This is interesting. Let me explain why this is interesting, because I had this chat earlier about Wenger's last 5 years. You know,
Well, let me just land this point, though. Let me just land this point to see if you agree first. I think you would have accepted it, because I remember the criticism of Wenger's team back then was you were too pretty on the ball. You wanted to walk the ball over the line, game in, game out, and it wasn't sustainable. You needed another style of play. And don't get me wrong, a lot of the talk was about having a target man up there to lump balls into the box to try and be a little bit more direct. But in terms of what Arteta's done from the set pieces, so to speak, if you would have been able to carbon copy that over your Arsene Wenger side, I think you should have had a little bit more of the balance that he's crying out for 5 years ago.
The problem is, though, I don't mind what style of play we have if it wins us games, but this style isn't winning Arsenal games, bro. This style is actually getting us a point or losing games. So we've lost. We haven't beaten Inter Milan playing it. We haven't beaten Chelsea playing it. We haven't beaten Bournemouth playing it. We haven't beaten Newcastle playing it. We haven't beaten Fulham now playing it. So now we've got to a stage where we played 15 games and we've already dropped 7 games. That's nearly half of the games we played already have been dropped, either losses or draws. That ain't good enough. Last season, we drew 5 and lost 5. We've already drew 5 and we lost 2. You think Arsenal were going to lose only 3 more games to the end of the season, and that would only equal the points we made last year, which weren't enough. So it ain't good enough, man. And just quickly, the last 5 games, just quickly, sorry, Albie, let's look quickly. The last 5 games, the last 5 years you mentioned about Arsene Wenger. Do you know what his last 5 years were? When we were marching down Hornsey Road saying, get this guy out. The last 5 years were 13-14 FA Cup, 14-15 FA Cup, 15-16 title race, Leicester won it. Last season, FA Cup. Then when he got to his last one, he did come 5th and he actually got sacked, but said, I'm leaving, right? That's the last 5 years. The last 5 years of Arteta has been absolute shambolic in comparison to that. And Arteta, we wanted this guy out. So how can we compare and flip-flop?
Optics, bro. The optics, it's all optics. So when Wenger was there, you expected more. You expected Premier Leagues because he'd been there for so long and the drop-off was mad. But then Arteta's come in. Yeah, I don't know how it ended with Emery, but I think it was bad, like 8th or whatever. Yeah, Arteta's come in, not great, and he's took you from like 8th or whatever, or he might have took you there, and then he's took you back up. So optics-wise, Wenger done well. Obviously, when you go back, but at the time, it was like, yo, bro, where the Premier Leagues, where the Champions Leagues, and then obviously you finish 5th. From an Arteta point of view, it's this guy's took us from the death of football to challenging again, and it's like. But actually, when you just put it side by side, you're absolutely spot on. Like, Wenger has done better than Arteta. That's facts. He's won more trophies. So that's a fact, but it's just the way it looks. It's the optics of it, and that's why.
And like Lil Timms has said, we actually got to the final against you boys, LB, in that last season of his year as well, and semi-finals against Atletico Madrid in the Europa League. So I look at it now, and I think actually, as much as that was not accepted, and I'm not trying to say we should have kept Wenger, by the way, because it was actually a good record, because that record isn't good enough. But why is this record now good enough then? If he doesn't win something this year, he's got to go.
Is he done? Is he done if he wins nothing major this year?
Bro, he has to be. Do you know what? I respect him so much more.
He's just signed a new 5-year deal or something.
Well, there's rumours that he's going to, but I do not. I will have so much respect for him if he literally gets to the end of this week and he don't say we don't win anything, and he just goes, do you know what? I said at the end to everybody on a microphone at the Emirates, do not be satisfied with second. I'm walking. I'd have so much.
He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. Let's keep it though. I think as well, there's to what LB said about necessarily about the optics. I agree, but then when you that's one factor. I think you've got to add in the other factor that there is a minority that is a growing minority within an Arsenal fan base that this is the best that they've seen in their lifetime. Pot you referenced before. Don't shake your head, lad, because you're of a certain age.
I agree with you.
Errol's right. It's the younger fans.
It's true. That's why I'm doing that. I hate it.
But that's the point. You said before, reference, you've waited 21 years for the league title. In that time, there have been young bucks that have been seen periods with Arsenal not in the Champions League. When I grew up as a kid, Arsenal were always in the Champions League. That was their thing. They had a crazy record of being in it consistently for X amount of years for English clubs. Like, that was what Arsenal was brought up on. So my expectations for Arsenal versus what some of these young, and again, it sounds mad just because it's just age. So it's not a well, we've got more experience or we've done more than using any shape. It's just literally how fucking your mum and dad bonked when they bonked. Do you get it? Like, you can't help being a young buck in this and looking at Arsenal's team thinking we're on the right path. But I equally can't help that I've seen it before and think, nah, this isn't it. This is not the levels where I've seen Arsenal be in the past either. So I think you've got to couple that in with the fact that what LB was saying before of the optics. For a lot of young fans, they haven't had it as good as this. And they don't know.
What, Errol, just to come in there as well. For the younger fans who are like, why would we get rid of this guy? It's like, when fans, right? I can't speak for everybody, but when I speak about Arsenal, and when I say surely he's got to go this year if he doesn't win anything, it's actually coming as much as they might not believe me. It's actually coming from a point of respect for Arsenal, because Arsenal for me are not a team that should go 5 years without winning a Champions League or a Premier League or like seriously like winning stuff. So if you don't win anything again this year, that's 5 years without winning anything. That's 5 years without another Premier League and 5 years without a Champions League. I'm not Arsenal fans. So I see comments saying you just want Arteta to go because you want him gone because he's tired. No. I'm actually saying it because I respect Arsenal as a club in the sense that they shouldn't be doing this. They shouldn't have a manager that can't get them over the line. And this is the thing. If Arsenal fans want to keep him, no problem. He's won one FA Cup. Why does it bother me? Don't bother me. I'm just saying from a point of view of respect, surely Arsenal Football Club, if he can't get you over the line, need to move him on and get someone else in. And by the way, right, Arne Slot's proved 100% that this notion and this myth going out there that there's nobody else out there is a complete and utter lie. So any Arsenal fan that tries to throw that out there, that's just a complete lie, because he's replaced Liverpool's greatest Premier League manager, one of their greatest managers of all time. And he's, you could hardly say he's improved on them this year so far, early stages, but he's improved so far. So this is a myth that's put out there by Arsenal fans saying there's nobody else out there. So yeah, for me, if he doesn't win anything this year and it's the Premier League or the Champions League for me, I think that you've got to move him on and try someone else.
Poz, do you reckon you missed your chance to win the league under Arteta last season? Do you reckon that was as good as it was going to be? I think that was your moment and you've now missed it. And now there's a drop-off, and I don't know if you can actually get back there under Arteta. I think you're going to have to get a new gaffer and sign 3-4 players and then try and go again with someone who's got a proven record of getting over the line. I think you missed your chance under Arteta last season.
Yeah, I think we should have won it the last 2 years. Like, people trying for whatever reason the first year, I understand we weren't supposed to be there. We were supposed to be getting top 4, but we were 8 points clear, man, and we threw it away. Last season, we just had to beat Aston Villa at home, and we won the league. And we lost it. So I don't know, man. I look at what Arteta's done. I understand it's a good job in terms of getting us challenging. You can say that. You can't say he hasn't done a good job to get us back up there because we're there. But to get us across the line, he's failed at every opportunity. And I know it's not about like, oh, you have to win because people make it entitled to win stuff. But we should be. LB's bang on. Like I grew up winning
the
stuff.
game,
I was
Dan.
loyal, man.
Don't let people put you down for saying you want to win stuff. That is literally the aim of the sport, is to win trophies. So I hate it when people say, oh, you don't win anything, you want someone. Well, not like Lee Gunner does it, yeah, and he goes on, he does it like pretty emphatically, but he is right in what he's saying. That is legit the aim of the game. Like, I'm not being funny, Rich Emery, right? If we get 3-4 years down the line and he stalls, I know they love him, they should get rid of him. Because that's the aim of the game. What, they just want to finish 3rd or 4th for the next 5-6 seasons. And all people will be like, yeah, but what about if we go down? The aim of the sport is to win the trophies.
Well, I agree with that as well. But my other question to Potts on top of what you've grew up on, because this is the conversation about the other end of the spectrum. So there's a growing minority of young people that for them this is the best that they've seen. There is still a majority of older people, of older fans that have higher expectations and have higher sets of standards. Do you think that there are the right personnel within the club that have been around the club for a long enough time to have witnessed what Arsenal once was, because it is a once was now, to say that's where we was, that was what our minerals are, that's our DNA. this is the guidebook to keep us there, get us there, push us there. Because for me, since the Cronkies have been there, it has just been a graduation of just a decline in terms of the levels and the standards. Are there enough people within the walls of Arsenal? Yeah, but are there enough people within the Arsenal walls to be able to say, "Oh, we know what it takes"?
It's gone. The moment David Dean left was the start of it, in my opinion. 2007, he walked out. Then the Cronkies come in 2008, and there's no surprise we've not been competing for the majority of that time. We've been starting again, trying. We've been failing. Yeah, it don't help when Chelsea and City come in and spend the money they spent. We can talk about that if you want. But if you actually look at how much money's been spent, Arsenal are right up there, man.
You're up there, bro. You're up there, bro.
So, look, man, like for me, I'll say this. The owners are still a problem, and I'll tell you why. If you think it's not the owners, it's Arteta, it's the owners, because that's his guy. If you think it ain't the manager, it's the board, it's the Cronkies, because they've hired the board. If you think it's not the board and the manager, it's the owners, you'd be on the right lines, because the owners this is the owners' process. And I think right now we're in a very, very, very close situation of putting Mikel Arteta's CV before Arsenal Football Club. And that's what I don't like. We're looking at trying to grow this manager, make him out to be this unbelievable thing. Let's look at what we've done with this guy, blah, blah, blah. If he ain't good enough, you need to just cut your losses and go. And look, it might win something at the end of this season. We might go to win Champions League, win one of the domestic cups. I don't know. That's what I hope we do, right? But unless we do that, I want the guy gone, man. I want him gone because I'm sick and tired of these cluster of results that happen. I don't get what the style of play is. I made an analogy earlier, right? Go with me on this one. He rips it up and starts again way too often. When we had that season where we were blitzing teams in 22-23, everyone was like, I tell you what, Arsenal buy a couple of players here and they are absolutely onto one. But no, he ripped it up and he started again. And we went in that summer and he went with a different style of play. And now what we're doing, we've gone into the summer. We've had an awful summer transfer window yet again, right? And I'm then into a situation where we're now going and starting again with a different style of play, set pieces all over the place. So if I go and do, I don't know, I paint or decorate your lounge, right? And you come in one day and go, yeah, it's quite good, Pots, but there's no wallpaper on the room, mate. And I go, oh, okay, no problem. Yep, all right, I'll sort that. You come back 2 hours later, you've got different furniture in there, different TV, different carpet. You're like, bro, I only wanted some new wallpaper on there. Oh, sorry, mate, I'll sort that out. You come in the next day, and then you've got some complete new fish tank in there. You've got a new staircase. You've got new walls. Like, what are you doing, bro? Stop ripping it up and start again. Just put my damn wallpaper on the fucking wall. Go and get me my striker. I've been waiting for 5 years. Stop ripping it up and doing it again. And that is what this geezer's doing, man. Every season, I'm seeing a new Arsenal. Why? This is the same damn manager. We still don't have a striker. We still don't have cover for Saka. We still don't have cover for Ødegaard. We still don't have cover for Saliba. We've got Kieran Tierney on the bench at the weekend. He's playing party at right back, taking our best right back, Timber, away from it. The whole of our right-hand side is now Guff, yeah? And we've got Kieran Tierney sitting there. We spent £150 million on left backs since Kieran Tierney, and not one of them are better than him. This is the problem we've got with this manager. There's so many question marks now. It's a joke.
Just to run with your analogy there, though, Pot, yeah? Say, for example, now he doesn't win anything this season and he is asked to leave and he loses his job. The next guy that you come in, are you expecting him to just get you a striker and say, yo, finish me wallpaper? Because I've got a feeling that the next guy that comes in, Dave LB, yeah? The next guy that comes in, he's going to want to rip it up. He's not going to like the interior design of this new house that you've been doing up. He's not going to like the front room. He's not going to like the furniture.
Do you know why that's different, though? Just quickly, right? Do you know why that's different? Because he will have the exact same as I've been saying with Mikel Arteta. Come in and win me something. If you said to me now, get the new guy in, it's going to be De Zerbi. I'd say keep Arteta. I don't want a De Zerbi. I don't want I want somebody who has a CV that says, I have got experience of winning with these teams. And I don't care what names you throw at me. Give me any names you want. I don't care who it is. I don't particularly want a Mourinho or Conte who have got the Spurs lurgy now. But you can give me any of the CVs of people that have won stuff. And I will take them. Simone Inzaghi, Diego Simeone. I'd even take if you want a younger one, I'd even take Xabi Alonso. Because at least he's gone and proven that he can get teams. Who?
Rafa Benitez?
He's kind of maybe a few years ago, not so much now. But I actually rated him. I actually rated Rafa.
Yeah.
So for me, if you've got a CV that says in the last few years, I've proven to you I can win it with this team or with a team, I will take you. And people say, oh, but there ain't no one out there. There ain't nobody better than Mikel. My God, we've stuck with him for 50 years then. There's no one out there still. No one out there. It's just mad. It really is, man. This is why I'm not a lover of what I'm seeing. And I think at the moment, people think I'm over the top with it. But I think the title is done for now. We'll talk to me again in February if you want. But I think the title is done for now. And I think we've got to concentrate on winning a trophy. And for me, you take that Carabao Cup seriously, man. I swear down. You go out against Palace and play it, put kids out there, and we go out again. I am not happy. And the same with
I think
the
that's the
FA
best
Cup.
thing I think that's the best thing you could do for the next couple of weeks anyway. Is just forget about the title race and just focusing on winning the games that are in front of you. Yeah,
100%.
win games that's in front of you, and let the numbers do the talking in a couple, as you said, in February time. If the math's mathing, then there's a conversation to have to say, does our expectation and the mentality shift a little bit now? Do we start applying a little bit of pressure?
That's what we should be doing. That's our mentality here right now. Get to February, March, and then if we're in touch and distance still, let's rethink it and see what we can do for the rest of the season.
Look, man, let's close with both you, Charlie and Rich, because we're going to need to come to a close, right? Rich, are you a bit like peeved that Chelsea are in a position that you kind of dreamed about being in this season? And I know it might sound mad saying that Aston Villa were going for a title, but I still do think there is a little bit of a gap at the moment between Liverpool and the rest of us. I know you've put yourself back in a kind of winning mentality in the last couple, and Aston Villa should be in a situation where, you know, in my opinion, under Emery, you shouldn't be panicking because I think what he's done has been magnificent. But are you looking at kind of the start of the season before a ball's kicked, thinking, yeah, Chelsea and the Villa will be kind of close? Do you think Chelsea are ahead of you, and are you a bit disappointed by that, bro?
They are definitely ahead of us, and I think it was always just a case of seeing how that pre-season and seeing how a manager like Maresca, who was a bit unproven, would be able to handle the players within that squad, because for whatever reason, Pochettino started to play a bit better, get better results last season, but for whatever reason, he couldn't get a handle on the players in that squad. But if someone could, and then sign the right players, get the right players out of the team, they've got special players. They've got ridiculously good players. They've got an unbelievable squad. Aston Villa improved their squad in terms of numbers, but we still haven't got that quality. You know, we're still relying on one or two players as opposed to having different players that can come into the squad at any one time. You know, we've got maybe the likes of Emi Martinez. I think Boubacar Kamara is a massive player for us. He's probably our best player. And then Ollie Watkins, who's hit and miss. Obviously, we know he scores goals, but he misses a hell of a lot of chances. John Duran's a special talent, but you can't keep relying on him to come on and win your games, which is what's happened this season. So, yeah, I am a little bit peeved, but I guess the fact is that Chelsea should, with the quality that they've got in their side, they should be, you know, challenging for that top four. And at the moment, I know Charlie won't say it, but we've been on the Loaded Boys channel, and they are in a title race at the minute. Villa have got back on the winning track, but with Villa, it's can they beat one of the big boys? Because we did last season, but this season we've come up short. We need to get a result against one of the big boys to prove that we are in the shout for the top four race.
Who's the next big opponent that you come up against?
So the next 4 games, we've got Nottingham Forest away on Saturday. Then we've got Man City at home. Then we've got Newcastle away. And then we've got Brighton at home.
Yeah. Wow, that's difficult.
That's a good like a litmus test to see where you're currently at, though, them 4 games, man, because some of them are in form. Newcastle need to get themselves stepping up. City will want to stay strong and hold firm. There's some good games in there for you.
Yeah. I mean, this Saturday against Forest, that's a massive one. That's a massive game.
One.
Yeah.
Are you level on points for them?
Yeah, level on points.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, and obviously they've had some good results. So
yeah, it's a 6-pointer. It turns itself into a 6-pointer almost when you're that close.
And with Villa, have got Leipzig tomorrow. So I think he made a fair few changes against Southampton.
Is Leipzig in Germany?
Leipzig's in Germany tomorrow, yeah. And then we've got the evening kickoff on Saturday. So there's enough time for the players to rest up. But yeah, at this moment in time, we haven't been great in those kind of games that have been a test for our mentality. Yes, You could say Brentford off the back of a bad run. It was good to get a win and get back on track, but ultimately it was a game we expected to win at home against Brentford, and then you've got Southampton, which you should be winning anyway. So Forest away is a test to see whether we are back in the shake-up.
Look, man, I still don't write what Villa can do under Emery off. I think it has definitely affected you Champions League wise. It's going to. Same with what happened with Newcastle last year. And in fact, I know it's a bit cruel with Newcastle's injuries. I think Villa, are always going to be a little bit of a drop off. I actually put you 5th this year because I felt like you would just miss out on Champions League, even though 5th probably will still get you it. I actually did put you there because I felt like it would be a little bit too much for you, man. But Charlie, a lot of people were talking about Cole Palmer and Chelsea. To wrap up, man. Talk to me, bro. I mean, Spurs are Spursy, so that was embarrassing that from them yesterday. By the way, they are just hilarious. And Deji can't be with us because he's traveling to Manchester and he got cooked yesterday. He's done a runner from you, man. He come and give it last weekend. Now he's jumped off.
He's gone to the only place Tottenham can win in to make himself feel better. So he's gone there. Look, mate, things are going well, no doubt about it. We're doing a lot better than anyone would have expected. We're playing some really nice football. There's a real togetherness about the group. Errol touched on it earlier. This is like the most likable group of players we've had in a long time. Everyone's going in the right direction. Everything Maresca does is working. When things are going well, everything you do pays off, and he's doing that. Even like yesterday, he makes little tactical switches at half time, switches Badiashile and Colwell round so that Badiashile's more comfortable playing on his stronger side. He brings on Gusto for Lavia, playing a natural right back, overlapping with Pedro Neto. We're a big threat down that right side in the second half. Just all these little tactical tweaks he's making. His in-game management is great. His squad management is great. And he's someone that's really in tune with the game from a tactical point of view. And he's a details guy. And he can't do anything wrong right now. And there's a new belief amongst Chelsea. Like, as fans, we're sitting there, and like the last few years, we've had difficulties. We're chanting when we score a goal. A couple of seasons ago, we scored 1 goal in a calendar month. Now we're scoring. Now we're scoring for fun. Defensively, we do need to do a little bit better for sure. But our defense is not as bad as what people make out. We still got the joint third best defensive record in the league this season. So we're not as bad defensively as what people make out. Yeah, we still make a few mistakes. Sanchez in goal is a massive liability, and it's one of the main reasons why I don't think we can challenge for the title this season. I don't think we're quite good enough defensively, and I also think the experience is not there either. A lot of these guys in the squad, the biggest game in their careers was the Carabao Cup final last season. We don't have that. We don't have that know-how yet. To get over the line. But I think this will be a good experience for us. I think we could do something similar to what Arsenal done. Maybe when you finished 8th, and then you were. I know you'd obviously done a lot better than what we're doing right now, but you found yourself in a position where you were leading the title race and you fell short. I think we could do something similar where maybe we go close and we do perhaps surprise a few people and maybe we could finish second. But I just think we haven't had enough time together. We don't have the experience to really put something together over the course of a season to get over the line. We haven't proven we can get over the line. That's the big thing. There's no evidence to suggest that Chelsea can get over the line. And Raffle Maresca's done a really good job. There's no evidence really that he's got what it takes right now to get over the line, despite him doing a really good job.
Yeah, man. Look, I actually agree with what you've said there as well in the last part. I actually been quite impressed with Maresca. Let me ask this, since it's the 3 of us left. Who's going to win the Premier League first out of us 3?
Liverpool, for sure.
This season?
I would think so. I'd be surprised if they didn't win it from this position.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. I was hoping Errol was going to go, I don't know about that. He's like,
Errol's playing that humble one. He knows the league's getting them red ribbons on it.
I set my stall out early this season. I didn't overgas it. I didn't put too many crazy expectations. I said I am going to enjoy this season and go week by week and see what I want. And from I've done that, I've had a great time. And I'm not letting anybody put any pressure on it or change my mantra right now, because my mantra's got me on the winning track. So until it needs to change, I'm just going to keep doing what we've been doing and taking it one game at a time.
Yeah, man, it's mad. Would it, if you lost your managers, let's say it went absolutely wrong for both of you, would you take Arteta?
No,
No,
There we go. That
he
says
doesn't,
enough for
he's,
me.
he's not. He's not a winner.
he's not. And he used to play for Everton. It ain't happening.
That's true. But no, that says it all for me. The reason I asked that is not because I was genuinely
Would you
interested.
take Slot or Maresca? Because to your point before, you said you wanted a
Yeah.
winner.
No.
Would you take
No, I
Slot or Maresca?
No, I wouldn't, because I
Slot-
believe we need.
Slots won in the Eredivisie, and Maresca won in the Championship. You asked for winners in recent times. You binned
But
off
you know what?
Benitez.
I would like to see someone who's actually won with. I don't want to sound disrespectful to Feyenoord because he's done a good job and he plays good football, but I need to see someone who's not won and done. I need to see someone who's a proven winner. I'm not sure that I can look at Maresca or Slot and go, Leicester, Feyenoord, go on then, you're ready for the Arsenal job. Because
But-
let's be real, both of them might not win with you guys yet. We don't know.
Yeah. But big clubs though, like just quickly, obviously Arteta, that was Arsenal's his first job. You see now a lot of bigger clubs like Bayern Munich, like Chelsea, etc. Man United maybe to a lesser degree of Amorim, but a lot of clubs are going for. I'm not really looking at the CV anymore. They're like the CV doesn't hold as much weight now in managerial appointments. It's more about a style and identity, a philosophy, like what you can do. You look at companies.
Or if you're Pep's mate.
or one of Pep's disciples. But do you know what I mean? Like if Arteta did go, there's no guarantee that some proven winner comes in. It could be the next kid off the block sort of thing, who they think is going to be an up and coming, whether they're going to be a new Maresca or a company or a Xabi Alonso or whatever. So I don't think that. Look, I'm not saying that Arsenal should keep Arteta just because they might go and employ someone up and coming, but I think there's no guarantees a proven winner comes in at Arsenal if Arteta leaves.
I think the Arsenal board.
Staying anyway. I think he's staying
Yeah,
anyway.
but I think the Arsenal board expected or was expecting Arteta to be what Xabi Alonso has turned out to be for Bayern. I think that was their genuine hope and expectation. And if it would have come off, I think to have pacified the Arsenal fans, he would have got his extension, and then he would have probably got a proven winner to say, well, this is the guy now that's going to be another big name, which brings in more money to the club. But the expectations can be lowered because we've got the big name and we've got recent success. So when we don't need to sit there in it. I genuinely don't think he's in it to build a bit of a dynasty again. I can't see you doing 4 or 5 years dominating Premier League football.
But surely that's got to be the plan, though, Errol, doesn't it? Because surely
I don't think it's to your point before, what you said, Charlie, to your point before about did he miss his opportunity? I think they was banking on him getting over the line in the last 2. And he would have been happy with that. You get us over the line, you do what we need, what Xabi Alonso's done at Bayer Leverkusen, and we'll be made up. We'll coast off that again for the next 10 years, provided Champions League football's at the table.
I just would have thought if you're looking to, build this a project or whatever, you want to get over the line in the big one and win a league title, but surely you want to be winning more than one. Surely the culmination of this 5 or 6 years can't be like, oh, we've won the Premier League title now. Now we can just go back to what we were doing under Wenger, and we'll just finish top 4 and we'll pick an odd cup up here and there.
There's only nearly 2 teams. Can you even say Chelsea were like that? Dominated a little bit, but yeah, it's only Man U and City that really have had in Premier League years, those years of dominance. Everybody else has had cycles.
Cronkies have done one and done with their American sides, bro.
Exactly, and that's the point I think they have. It's one and done.
Would you be happy with a one and done?
No, I want to dominate, man. Of course we do. Look, I take it. Of course you do. You go like that and you say, brilliant. But what? That's it? Oh, brilliant. We're not going to do that again for another 20 years. Like, this is the thing. All of this process, surely that was supposed to be so we could dominate, not just, we've won it now. Right, off you go. Then that's brilliant. Well done.
The Emirates, that's the point that you're going to make. The Emirates process, that is the we should have done that to be dominating. We should have moved to the Emirates to build a phase and a period of dominance in English football. And that is where you have let yourselves down massively, 100%.
Yeah, big up, man. I totally agree. Look, before I do a couple of super chats and get out of here, I do need to announce that we have some new sponsors for the channel. Reality Raffles, people. Get yourself involved. All you need to do is click on the link in the description and use the code FTM10 to get 10% off of these tickets. They are only a measly 99p, and it is an unbelievable big instant win for your tickets. It is up to £500 worth of money for a football match day. And yes, it is a football match of your choice. That is an unbelievable opportunity for you. Please make sure you click on that opportunity, get your tickets in, because it does not matter who you support. That is an unbelievable opportunity to get yourself to a football game. Go and check out some more of their prizes as well, people. They've got unbelievable prizes over there, not just football. They do concerts. They do God knows what. If you're into music, if you're into fashion, if you're into football, if you're into all sorts of hobbies, please make sure you get over there to Reality Raffles. Link is in the description. FTM10. 10% off of your ticket price, and you may be up for a game. It's so hard at the moment to get tickets for any football team that you support. This is a great opportunity to do that. So please make sure that you get over there. There's realistic prices as well for you to actually try and win some of these prizes. Unlike some of the others that are in and around, you see how hard it is to get some of these prizes won. These are superb. So we're going to be showing quite a lot of prizes that are on offer. So please make sure that you do go over there to Reality Raffles. Click on the link in the description, FTM10 for 10% off. £500 for a match day, which, let's be real, is unbelievable opportunity. So please
Be a
make sure
99p title party at Anfield end of the season. Not bad, is it?
There you go, man. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? 99p will be all over that for a title challenge, titles of parade. So look, big up, man. Please make sure you do that. Go on, Errol.
I was just going to say, where was Deji? It took me an hour and 11 minutes to
man.
Where is this guy?
I was hoping he would, man. He's you
done
know
a runner.
like. I said to him, "Are you coming on?" He said, "I'm going to try. I'm on my way to Manchester." He come on last night. He got his cooking, and he's probably so scared to come and get another one again from Charlie.
He's still burns.
You, Errol, to be fair, because you were stuck in.
Mate, he was saying last week that he was confident Spurs were going to win. So, you know.
Yeah. Oh, mate, he always is. And now he's Ange out again. He's in and out, shake it all about, doing the
hokey cokey, isn't he? Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's what he is, man. That's what he is. Listen, people, says Suja says, big up Dan, the panel and the community. Hit the like and subscribe, people. He's also asked me a question before rounding out tonight. Would you sell Partey in January, or is that just me? As much as fans talk about Arteta in or out, he has the ownership in his pocket. No, I wouldn't sell Partey in January. I honestly think he's been one of our best players outfield. I wouldn't play him at right back. That is an absolute joke. He would be best in midfield. Owners, Suj, you and I both, man. The ownership is a problem. And Mikel Arteta, in or out, if I'm honest with you, in May, win me a trophy and we'll talk. Otherwise, I think it might be goodbye. That's how I will end. Big up to you, Charlie. Big up to you, Errol. Make sure you're following both these guys on all of their socials and their YouTube content as well. Please make sure that you are doing that. Go check out Manscaped and Reality Raffles. Both those are in the description. Go and see if you can win a nice football ticket of your choice. And look, Arsenal fans, let's try and keep it together. Let's try not to have too much of a meltdown, although it's hard. We are playing again Wednesday, so let's hope we win against Monaco. Big up to all of you guys. We'll see you next time. We're out of here.